How's it going? Jesus, that was scary. Holy moly, that was scary. Here you call coming back on. That was scary, wasn't it? What happened there? I picked up the phone and the whole thing fell apart. The whole thing fell off the stand. Everything fell off. Everything fell off everywhere. Tag everybody that was back on. I don't know what happened there. That was hilarious. Give me the comments. Jesus. I touched the thing here and the whole thing fell apart. Hiya, Salas, you're all back on. That was classic, wasn't it? That was classic. That was classic. I touched the thing and the whole thing fell apart. That was classic, wasn't it? I felt like I was in Australia. The thing just kept rotating. You know what to do best. That was brilliant, wasn't it, Susan? I touched the thing here and the whole thing fell apart on me. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, I'm back on. I'm back in the game, Salas. I'm back in the game. Even though that was like defusing a bomb. That was like defusing a bomb. Oh, that was classic. I was trying to see your comment, Rob. You dafty. I just touched the button, Susan, and the whole thing fell apart. You know, I'm blaming the electronics. I thought I dropped acid, did you? No, but you know, there's a story I could tell there. Hi again. Hi everybody. I'm back again. And you're all coming on. You're all so funny. Hiya Samuel, what's going on? It was like I was having a drink. I'll tell you what, I'll need a vodka after that. Suited you always. That was brilliant, Robert, wasn't it? Jesus Christ. I'm telling you, that was a classic. So I touched the machine here to see Rob's post, because Rob always writes things beautifully. And the thing falls out of its pocket now. And then it's rotating, and I'm looking at it here like... you know, like digital dad, I haven't got a clue. Where's Nick Conn when you need him? You know what I mean? That's what I was saying to myself. Where's Nick Conn when you need him? Families thinks I lost myself, lads. Great to have a laugh on a Sunday, isn't it? You know what I mean? I don't mind people laughing at me or with me. I'm just glad if people are laughing, you know. Put it on candid camera. I'm sharing it, Salas. I don't worry about stuff like that at all. Imagine if you did, you know what I mean? But, you know, remind me the next time to tighten the screw on the back of this thing before I go on. Before I go on. Because that was a bit scary. That was a bit scary. Hi, David. Everybody coming back on. So is there everybody's back on? Oh, 23, 24. Yeah, you're all back in the game. Yeah, that was so funny. Now, listen, I'll share that one. I bet you I'll get a higher viewing for that than I will for anything else, you know what I mean? But back to the fame thing. That was so funny. Back to the fame thing. That when you do a lot of this stuff, you do a lot of this profile work, and did you love that, Robert? I tell you what, I was diffusing a bomb. It was like diffusing a bomb. I kept turning. It kept saying rotate this way. So I'm not touching the thing. I'm not touching it. You know, I'm back in the game, Maria. I'm back in the game. I'm back in the game. Last week I was showing me runners off. This is the last time I kept trying to move the camera down and show me runners off. You know, I have these cool pair of runners, but this will teach me. This will teach me. Oh, sweating wasn't in it, Maria. Sweating wasn't in it. Take me back now. I'll be like, the minute I finish here, there's 2 words. Okay, I have 2 words for you. One's vodka and the other one's cranberry. And I'll be like, but I love a laugh. You know what I mean? I love, where do you fly to? The chicken dance. Yeah, no, what's it called? The chicken dance. I'll tell you what though, you'll have a chicken dance putting 10A1 on over hair. That's what you'll have a chicken dance for. Next time, have a vodka. You know what we'll do next year, actually, Salas? That is a brilliant idea. Salas, that is a brilliant idea. Is we'll go live on New Year's Eve. I don't particularly like New Year's Eve. I probably don't. I said it. Hi, Annaval. Good to see you on, babes. I don't particularly like to have a song with them. I'm not going to touch that screen, again, not after that. We'll go live on New Year's Eve here, and we'll have a bit of crack, and we'll have a few drinks, and we'll do a question time, and we'll put everyone on the cameras. We'll get everybody on, different faces, different... Diana Ross upside down. Back to Elvis in the ghetto. I'm telling you, watch him. Black leather jacket, red Elvis behind him. You can't miss it. But we'll go live New Year's Eve and we'll put different people on the cameras and we'll get everyone talking, okay? And we'll all have a few drinks and things will get a bit out of hand and we'll have a great time, okay? We're watching you together. She's loving it. Oh, Pearl. I'd love to meet Pearl. I love that name, Rob. I love that name, Pearl. It's just so beautiful. Is that the little one that went to school? I was thinking about her that day. The next day when I was going home, I was thinking about her in school. But anyway, back to getting your income right before you go to do a lot of these things, okay? Because what happens is you go off to do a shoot for 2 days and it's wonderful and you have a fantastic time, and then you go back to the shop and you've no money, you know, and you haven't made a penny. So you need to get your income right and you need to find out what you're really good at, and you need to aim at clients that will look for that. Because, you know, I don't know if you've heard the saying in business, hopefully you won't be doing the chicken dance, Joanna. You never know, Joanne. All I'll say is if there's a particular mixed tone, Joanna, or there's a particular tube of colour that you need on that morning, don't take for granted that it'll actually be there, or that somebody won't have used it. So if you need something that's very specific, you have it, bring it with you that morning, okay? That's an advice. And don't leave everything to the last minute. You know what I mean? Don't leave everything. But you're an absolute pro, Joanne. So I wouldn't expect you to, but don't leave everything to the last minute. And don't overdo the hair as well. But this is the thing, fame is expensive. Fame can be very expensive. Success isn't expensive, okay? So make sure to get success before you get fame, okay? Because they're two different things. I have 10 questions every day to ask themselves to keep themselves their ideal client and post them up for later. Yes, brilliant. But there's a saying, Anna Vaughan, you might like the saying in behind the chair. I've heard it over many years, that you're either the prize or you're the prisoner. And what they mean by that is that, you know, if you're prized for, say, being like Michael, who's on here, Michael's prized for his colour melting, okay? So his prize is his colour melting. I mean, I think before I even, I consider myself a really good, colour melter, but Michael, I used to follow Michael to follow how he did colour melts, okay? So Michael would be prized for his colour melts. Do you understand what I'm saying? He'd be prized for his colour melts. So if he puts himself forward on his street or in his area as the go-to guy for melts, then he's the prize. You understand what I mean? Clients go into that salon looking for Michael because they're looking for a specific look, because they heard that he's the one that can create that. You know what I'm saying? So he's the prize. Where if he doesn't have something like that, he's the prisoner, because he's chasing after them to get them into the salon. You're chasing after them, please come in, please love me, please. Instead of them going, oh, I've seen this guy, he's really famous, he's famous for doing melts and he does them, and he's getting them into the salon. So he's a prize, he's not the prisoner. So try and find out what your prize is. I mean, for me, it's probably zigzag highlights. I mean, being able to create a pyramid shape. Yeah, Lacey is prized for her balayage. Cynthia, she's prized for her balayage the world over. Okay, she's prized for her balayage the world over. As so many are on the page. You know what I mean? That you are a prize, or I would be prized for probably my zigzag highlights, for being able to do a specific shape highlight that isn't a weave and isn't a slice, that isn't as chunky, you know, that so that's what I am really well known for. So that has made me a prize. Clients come into the shop because they're looking for that look because they've seen another client. So that means they're kind of committed to the way I approach my work before I approach it. So that's a terrific thing. So you should try and find out what your prize is. That wonderful lady today who said on the she said on the earlier one that she is prized for her razor cuts in the area. So that made her the prize and not the prisoner. So it's important to try and find behind the chair you know, what you can focus in on that can make you the prize behind the chair, make you the most sought after person in your area for whatever it is. Could be bleach ups, it can be balayage, it can be zigzag lights, it can be base breaks, it can be melts, it can be haircuts, it can be finishing, it can be blow dries, it can be weddings. But what can make you the most sought after? And then once you can build that up and you can charge your value and your worth for it, that'll free you up to then create the fame around what your prize is. So you can become quite famous for your razor cuts, as that, you know, as so many people have done over the years. Are quite famous for their colour, are quite famous for their balayage. But they had their income set first, okay? So find out what you're good at, build it up, make it a prize. Evening, Phyllis, how are you? There's an earlier one on there where I dropped the phone, and it's a pretty classic. You should try and see it. But you know, if you suffer from dizzy spells, be careful. You know what I mean? But try to find what you're really good, what you can really focus in on. I'd be really well known for base breaks. You know, I'd be really, it was so funny, Karen, wasn't it? I'd be really well known for base breaks. I'd be really well known for for zigzag highlights and for stuff. So that makes me sought out. I'm on the street. There's 21 hairdressers, and you know, and an awful lot of clients then come to me because they're sought out. They're looking for that specific type of look. So try to be the prize and not the prisoner. Try to be the person that they are seeking out rather than you going looking for their business, because then you can charge your worth and they're already committed to what you do. Yeah, your vertigo is gone. It was a where is Andrew Dunne moment. Was it beautiful? I'm going to look back at it and I'll need to have a drink. So get your skills right. And then, you know, if you can charge a certain amount, you can afford to take days off and do certain events. And understand that maybe they won't be as hugely paid until you're like top ticket, until you're, you know, top of the bus. You know, hi Maria, how are you? It was great to tag you today. Great to see you part of the community and great to have you on. Thanks for being here and thanks for being part of the community. Watch back. Anyone older remember Tiswas? Yeah, I remember Tiswas. Well, you know. Let's see, what else is there? And because, you know what the great thing is now is, you know, with all of us on the internet here, you all get an opportunity now to post your pictures and for other people to see what you're doing, and for people to appreciate your work and for them to love what you're doing and for you to love what you're doing, for you to develop as a hairdresser, to ask people questions, for them to have questions, to learn and to grow and to gain and to get better at what you do, help you with your pricing and build up your confidence. To not be afraid to charge your worth, to become the prize and not the prisoner, to get a chance to sit down every Sunday like we do and talk about different issues and different things. That it really is amazing what's happening, that you can create. I will, Stuart, that you can create, you know, you can invite people from the page to your salon to do education. You can go and do education on their salons. You can follow people here. You can, how you doing, Alonso? You can create and do so much that was just not available before, particularly with education from here, and that we get a chance to, that there was just none of that opportunity was there before. None of that opportunity. The best part of the Sundays. Oh, thanks, Martha. None of that was there before. None of that. But there was no opportunities for independent educators to get an opportunity to. You can invite them to your salons now. They can work in your salon. You can work with them. You know. There's so much opportunities now. There's so much. There's so many things you can do. You can find people in your area, from whether you're in LA or whether you're in India or whether you're in Dublin. I mean, you can find people, and there's educators growing. Love Haircolour, love the colour wheel. I'm not touching the phone. Sorry, I can't read that message. If I touch the phone, it'll all go skew whiff again, and then I'll end up on the floor. It was like back in the day when I was breakdancing. I was always a brilliant body popper, you know what I mean? I was a brilliant body popper. But the old breakdancing on the ground, you know, doing the windmill and all that, I was all over the place. You know what I mean? I was a disaster. I was all over the place. But body popping, I was king. You know what I mean? I was ledge. I was just unreal. But the old breakdancing on the ground, I was more like a beach whale, you know what I mean? Sort of just going around in a circle, you know? And that's what the phone kind of reminded me of, was the way I used to try and breakdance back in the day. MCE online is terrific. That there's so much now. That there's the MCE online, there's Wella online, there's Well Education, there's us here, there's people you can... Yeah, I kind of was. You're prep now, I would pop me hip, you're right there. Yeah, you've made more friends. Yeah, Salas, like the community on the page, we're so lucky to have each other. We're just so strong. It's amazing. I was following the journey of MCE online last year. One of my guys, Rob, was doing it. He was in the first phase of the MCE online, and it was great to watch the journey of everybody doing it as well. It was great the way that everything's happening, but there's the opportunities to get published are there, because on our page you can publish your work every day, and you can get better, and you can develop, and you can ask questions, and you can do all this type of stuff. So you can become quite famous. There's my wife on there, Yaman Pat. Happy birthday next week, my love. Yes, she's on. The reason she's gone live now is because she's saying to herself, is he still on? You know what I mean? Can he just, understanding problems is... Yeah, it is. I mean, just like melt sprays and post service and knowing how to tone properly, what we spoke about today, like just being able to approach things like that can change so many problems in the salon. So many problems that people can have can just be fixed like that, because you get an opportunity to follow people like Terry or people like me or people like Rob. And that's why we're here. That's why we started it. That's why we wanted it to be that independent voice working for our love for Wella as a part of it all together. But that there's so many opportunities to become really successful that you don't really need the fame. Before there was 3 or 4. This is the way it used to work back in my day. So the companies would pick up an agency. They'd go to an agency, and the agencies would then the agencies would tell them what the trends were. This is how it worked. And they would say, so these are the trends coming for this year. And then they would hire who they thought were their best hairdressers in their portfolio to do the trends. So you would be hired to do trends that were created by somebody else, and put them on posters, and then you were made to feel famous. Okay, so it was a whole sort of system. That's how it worked for years across the board, and it was not a nice place to be, because it wasn't your work. You were recreating something that somebody else told you was going to be amazing. You didn't really have any say in how it was going to be. Now you can do something that nail it in the salon. It's exactly what you love, and you can put it up on the page, and 100, 200, 300 people can love it, and it's what you do every day, and it's beautiful, it's authentic, it's you, it's on a customer who paid for it, which makes you successful, makes them successful. And everything about that is a win. So for a lot of the fame that people wanted, I was there for some of that. And trust me, it was an empty experience, because you were doing looks that someone else told you were going to be big next year. And you were looking at them going, oh, this isn't me. You know what I mean? So you were creating somebody else's vision. And then supposedly you got your trade-off for that was fame. Okay? Now, that's quite empty, if you ask me. So in this day and age now, you can go online, and you can I see people here like JD from South Africa who puts up, and I know JD's picture, I know the way she likes to do balayage, or Lacey, like somebody earlier. So they're authentically themselves and becoming famous for what they do every day, which makes them successful, and they get paid for it. Everything about that journey is perfection. okay? From the paying customer, from you being in your salon using Wella client products that Wella get paid because you're buying their products. Everybody wins there, you know, and everybody gets to have an input, and everybody gets to be a part of this beautiful journey and this beautiful process, and that is just amazing, okay? So the fame that a lot of people were looking for is not only expensive, but it was very, very empty. And now you can become famous on this page, like Jota there. He's a fantastic balayage from Brazil. You can become famous. It's and every step of it is authentic and beautiful. You know what I mean? And every step of it just makes me so proud, so proud to be here and to be a part of it, because it's just a win for everybody. Hi Izzy, how you doing? So the Eaton family are on here now, the Dynasty. I might get lucky and the Godfather, the dad, might be on one Sunday and I'll get a chance to say hello to him. But that is a wonderful thing. So that's organic, fabulous, successful, and it makes you famous. And it's beautiful. Every step of it is beautiful, okay? So, Jota, great to have you on. I love your work, Jota. I love your work, okay? From Brazil. I love your work. You know, and so you can be authentic, you can be yourself, you can make your own creations, you can get to post your own pictures. Hi Olive, how's it going? And you can get to, you know, you get him on one day, get him on for me, Rob, and you get to do that and to be a part of that, you know. And for a lot of people who don't get that and who are not a part of that, their work, they're probably just not there yet, you know what I mean? But you guys are the superstars now. You guys create the trends. You guys, everything comes from communities. Everything comes from you guys now. You guys are in charge. You guys are already famous, okay? You don't need to be going chasing fame. And you don't need somebody else to tell you that you're actually, you know, you're welcome. There's no, oh, thanks Olive. I'll see you next week maybe. Like, we there is no trends now. We are the trend. You guys are the stars now. You guys create the education. You guys create everything every day. And it's authentic and it's coming from behind the chair from people who actually pay. Hi, Jared. I was talking about Lacey earlier. Your fabulous wife. You know I'm a huge fan. She knows and I know she's a fabulous lady. And, you know, best of luck out there for them. So, fame is an expensive game. Fame can be an expensive game and it can cost you a lot. And I know some of the most amazing hairdressers I ever worked for chased fame massively, and they lost their salons over it. They lost so much over it. And they just ended up doing somebody else's idea of what next year's trends were going to be. So they just became an actor in a game. And it was an empty experience for them, and they got to stand on stage and they got to be applauded by a million people, but it wasn't their work, it wasn't their look, didn't come from them, they didn't get a chance to come from them, it came from an agency who were hired, and it was all this type of stuff, and I was there, and trust me, you don't want to be there, you don't need that in your life. You can post your pictures here, and you can be successful, and you can be loved, and you can be supported, and you can be appreciated. And to me, that is real fame. Okay, that is real fame. So, Karen's right. Fame can cost you so much. It can be so hypnotic. You know, now there aren't gigs that are worth giving up. You know, they're worth giving up for a few days for, like. You know, I would have given up really anything to go to Destination because I wanted to spend some time. I wanted to watch Rob on stage. I hadn't seen him do a look and learn before, so I would have been willing to you know, I would have been willing to do the trade off. Is worth it. You know what I mean? Some gigs are worth it, and some of the best gigs are the free gigs. You know what I mean? Because you get to have a input, and you get to be, well, Jota, we love you. You're a fantastic colorist, Jota. I love you. In Brazil, I know it's Portuguese, I'm not sure, but your work is beautiful. I love you. And but you I know I'm ranting a bit here, but that's mainly because probably I dropped the phone and the adrenaline's probably flowing up through me. But it's so important to understand that when they were standing on the stage back in those days, it was somebody else's look they were most likely achieving. Not only the truly brilliant ones in the early days got to that stage, and like the Anthony Moscolos who completely created a new look, and we're so authentic. And really, you know, the beginnings of everything we do here started with Anthony, because he was putting up raw images and he was throwing them up on his window, you know, every 2 or 3 weeks, a bit like before the internet started. Anthony was doing it all, you know, and he was amazing, you know. He was one of the true beginnings, and I'm lucky enough to do a shoot with him like years and years and years ago, and he had 2 guys, well, both on Max, one on each side, as he was taking the photographs, and I'd done the colour for him. And he said they were doing the Max out, and they were doing all the filters and checking the pictures out, and he was able to look at the Mac, and he said he just looked down and he said, "We have the picture, stop everything." And you know, before I'd been at shoots, and they were there 12 hours trying to get the perfect picture, and he got it straight away, and he said, "That picture's done." And he said to me, he said, "You know what?" He said, "One day," he said, "you'll be able to just take a picture like that, put it on a computer like that, and send it out, and the whole world will see it." And I remember thinking to myself, yeah, he's mad. And how right he was. How right Anthony was then, how right Anthony was now. True visionary, you know, true visionary. He was exactly right, because that's what we do every day. We take pictures of our hair, we press post, and they go around the world. Boom, just like that. And that is success. And give me that over fame any day of the week. That's my opinion on it. Don't chase fame. It can be very expensive, but enjoy the gigs that you do. Give them 100%, no matter if you're getting paid, you know, 100,000 for them, or you're getting paid €1. Give everything of yourself to every gig it is. But if you're doing it and you can't afford to do it because you haven't got your income right, well then don't do it. Okay, wait, build yourself up, get your income right, and then if you can do it and you can take the Monday off and do some fantastic project, well then do it and give it everything you have. But if you can't, don't. So get your income right, get your success right, get your core right, get your clientele right, get yourself famous for the right reasons. Be a prize, not a prisoner. Are you? What are you really good at? Colour, cutting, perm. You know, be the go-to person in your area. Make that happen, and that will be really, really successful for you. And be a leader. Be a leader. Be a visionary. Rather than being an influencer. You know, a lot of people call me, "Hey, Andrew, you work online, you're an influencer." I'm like, I don't think so. I don't think I influence anybody. I lead a community, and I try to help them get the best out of themselves and the best out of me, and I let people be themselves, and they let me be me. And no matter what level they at, I will try to give them as much praise and as much encouragement so that they can become better at their jobs. I don't think influencers is a part of that. I think everybody on the page who's has a lot of experience behind the chair is a leader and is a visionary, you know. And I think we're very lucky in our community. We have lots of visionaries and we've lots of leaders. Stephen Moody and Sonia Dove and Robert Eaton and Lucian. We just have so many leaders and so many visionary people on the page and we see the work and commitment that they put in every day. I lost you. I dropped my phone. That's what I get for taking the mic. Did you drop your phone? Leslie, I'll see you next week, babes. Carrying your gas. I don't believe you. I do it for the love. But you've got to get paid as well, Angela. I know you do it for the love, but love and approval is not... You've got to get paid for what you do, my darling. You've got to get paid for what you do. Because love and approval is a great thing. But you've got to... It's very important that your value, and here we'll nurture it and take care of it, you know. So that was my thing today after that fantastic private message that girl sent to me about fame. And the answer to that question is fame can be expensive, and sometimes you're on a stage doing somebody else's look. There's nothing great about that. Trust me, I've been there. You know, I've been there, and you're coming off the stage. It's an empty experience, really. You know. What you get to do here every day, and you can become famous and authentic so that when you walk into a salon, people know who you are because you're not trying to be somebody else, you know. Just arrived in London, I'll watch you later. Good, I missed it. Well, I dropped the phone and picked it back up, Leslie, so you enjoy it, you know. But Angela, yeah, you've got to charge for that. You've got to believe. Thank you for taking the time. You know what? Sunday is now such a part of what I do. It's It's such a part of what I do, and it's just gonna get stronger and better and better. It's such a part of what we do. As I say, next week I will be in London because I'm travelling in the afternoon, so I'll either go live from the airport, or I'll go live from the hotel. I don't know where I'm staying. I'm flying into London City, so we'll see what happens. I do like the drive in from London City on the other side of London. I love London. It's one of my favourite cities in the whole world. Yeah, we have so many. I mean, Terry, you are a legend. You're Terry, you are a legend. To have so many visionaries and leaders. And so I don't know about the whole influencer thing. I mean, great if you can influence people, but what we do here is we lead. We lead, and we have vision, and we try to give vision to the people who don't have vision, to make them have a vision. And then as a community we grow together, and that's what it's all about for me. And the level of success you can create for yourself by posting your pictures, by getting well known, creating your own education, getting to know people around you, is just terrific. And you don't have to sacrifice anything for it. For fame, you sometimes have to sacrifice a lot, So Martha, if I ever go to a stage where I'm working online more and more and more, then I will travel more and more with Wella, so we will see if that happens, you know what I mean? I do like travelling. I do love doing the events, particularly because you get to meet the most amount of a community, where when you're doing a masterclass, you're sort of doing a masterclass, you just meet people. But when you do the events, you meet everybody, and it's amazing. I'd love to go to Brazil because I love the way you paint hair there. But yes, I would love in the future. I've plans to travel and to go and to meet the Wella family everywhere I can meet them, and to build the communities. I'd love to go to all the Trend Visions and meet all the communities and get all the pictures and see everybody who follows the page, and just bring the Wella world to everybody, because it's just such a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful community. And we're doing that. Really, we're doing that. People like Susan inviting me to Destination, and the UK team making sure I'm here for Trend Vision, and then it's looking like I'll be doing Salon International hopefully in the next 2 weeks, and then I'll be back with Sue, who's again like Ant and Deck, working with Sue. But next week is Trend Vision. So to all the entrants for UK and Ireland, I wish you the best of luck. Remember, be prepared, be ready, and it's going to be a fantastic week. Okay then, I think that's about it. A lot of you stayed on live, even considering I dropped the phone. It's happening. You're famous. Yeah, I am very well known for what I do. I wouldn't say I'm famous. I'm very well known for what I do. But being well known, my business is my key, because that with the business creates the core so that I'm able to go and do other things. You know what I mean? So your income and your team and your fabulous team and your staff around you creates the core for you to be able to do other things. You know what I mean? Okay, guys, I'll see you next week. Good luck to all the contestants, and as I say, I'll be going live. I will definitely come to Brazil. I would love to go, Jota, and see. It was great to see Stephen there a couple of weeks ago. I'm a big fan of Brazilian work. I would love to come. Night, Liz. I'll talk to you soon, everybody. I'll see you at Salon. Yes, Kelly, I'd love to see you at Salon. Rachel, keep keeping it up. So remember, success is a beautiful thing. Fame can be an expensive thing. So make sure you have the success completely sorted out before you go chasing the other one. Okay? And thanks to that lovely lady who sent a question to me. I know she's online tonight, but I won't mention her name because it was a private message. Good night. God bless. From Father Dunne. Take care. I'm looking forward to watching this back and the other one back when we drop in the phone. Hilarious. Okay. Good night. And watch Elvis. Deck. Am I Deck? Are you Ant then? I suppose I have to be the one that would be out of rehab, wouldn't I? Really, I suppose it'd have to be. But next week will be Ant and Deck Sue for the crack or the week after, I'd say. Right, Martha, take care. Terry, take it easy. Yes. Good night. Good night. Take it easy. My kids need to go up and down the stairs and have the crack. I'll see you soon. Look forward to looking at this back without being too mortified. That's Ant, is it? Is he the mad one? I'm not sure which one is which. I just know they crack me up. You know what I mean? Okay. God bless. Take it easy. Take it easy. And I'll see you next week, alright? Big week. Bye.